And in this video, I'd like to talk to you about Job chapter 32, 33, and 34. Starting with 32, we're going to start with verse 6. I am young in years, while you are old. Therefore I was timid and afraid to tell you what I know. I thought that age should speak and maturity should teach wisdom. But it is the spirit in a person, the breath from the Almighty, that gives anyone understanding. Do you understand that now? That you are not the only one with understanding. And it doesn't arrive because you're the one that owns the understanding. It arrived because the spirit in a person, the breath of the Almighty, is the one who gave you the understanding. Okay? So 13. So do not claim we have found wisdom. Let God deal with him, not man. But Job has not directed his argument to me, and I will not respond to him with an argument. "17. I too will answer, yes, I will tell you what I know, for I am full of words and my spirit compels me to speak." It's not like this just randomly happened. It was my spirit compelling me to speak. Okay? And remember, that came from verse 8. But if it is the spirit in a person, the breath from the Almighty, that gives anyone understanding. Okay? And it goes with verse 18. Once again, for I am full of words and my spirit compels me to speak. Those two verses go hand in hand. 22. For I do not know how to give such titles. Otherwise, my Maker would remove me in an instant. Okay? So at any given moment, God can remove me. He can get rid of me. He's my Maker. And if he needs to, he'll remove and get rid of me in an instant. It doesn't take him very long. And what I want to go back up to is verse 20. I must speak so that I can find relief. I must open my lips and respond. I will be partial to no one, and I will not give anyone an undeserved title. Okay? I want you to understand that. That's what happens when you speak of the truth. Okay? And the truth is arriving from your spirit to be compelled to speak. And it goes on to state in verse 30, in chapter 33, in verse 3, my words come from my upright heart, and my lips speak with serenity what they know. Verse 4, the Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Verse 10, but he finds reason to oppose me. He regards me as an enemy. He puts my feet in the stocks. He stands watch over all my paths. So he's watching every door that you open. That's a paths. That's what paths stand for, doors. Okay? You arrive to this choice, and you're getting ready to look at 10 different paths, depending on the choice you make. Because you got to make a couple choices in order to get to the full perspective of the door. Okay? Of the path. But I tell you that you are wrong in this matter, since God is greater than man. Correct? What can a near mortal do to an immortal? And why do you take him to court for not answering anything a person asks? So if I ask God a question and he doesn't respond to me, why are you mad at God trying to take him to court? As if you're the judge. That's what he wants to know. Why are you trying to summon him to court when it's going to be him summoning you to court in the spirit? And he goes on to state this. For God speaks time and again, but a person may not notice it. God is everywhere you see. Time ticking. And you see light. God is there. If 3 or more people are gathered in a room, God is there. As long as the conversation is of light. Even though God is watching over all your paths, you're just not going to get a response from him in the darkness. He'll leave you there. In a dream and a vision in the night, when deep sleep comes over people and they slumber on their beds, he'll come to you in a dream, in a vision, in the middle of the night, when you go into a deep sleep. I believe they call that theta. Comes over people and they slumber on their beds. He uncovers their ears and terrifies them with warnings. Now he's giving you warnings of the future, of the future events to come. This is once again tying in with number 14. For God speaks time and again, but a person may not notice it. And he goes to state in dreams and visions and warnings. In verse 17, in order to turn a person from his actions and suppress the pride of a person. So he's looking to turn you from whatever it is that you may be running into on your path. Stated in the earlier verses, number 11. He puts my feet in the stocks and he stands watch over all my paths. So he's warning you of your path. What it's going to lead to. This goes for me. He's doing the same thing. Number 18. God spares his soul from the pit, his life from crossing the river of death. Did you even know there was a river of death? This is the spirit realm. On your way to the pit, you have to cross over the river of death. Okay? This is connected to the ocean. A person may be disciplined in his bed with pain and constant distress in his bones, so that he detests bread and his soul despises his favorite food. His flesh wastes away to nothing, and his unseen bones stick out. So now he's talking about decomposing. What are you going to do when you start to die? What choices will you make? Will you cry out to God? When you're dying and your favorite foods no longer fill the soul. And you're laying in bed with pain and you're suffering every day of your life. Will you cry out to God? Verse 22, he draws near to the pit and his life to the executioner. So God is the executioner. You're drawing near, closer to it. 23, if there is an angel on his side, one mediator of 1,000, to tell a person what is right from him, and to be gracious to him and say, spare him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. So an angel will find a ransom for you and save your life. This is the angel that is attached to every person from the time they're born. This is your guardian angel. Okay? And it's right here in chapter 33, the cerebral mindset, 33 chakra. Okay? The brain, the heaven. All you have to do is repent. Turn from your wicked ways and look towards God. And ask him to save you from the pit. because you're gonna need to find a ransom. Okay? Verse 25. Then his flesh will become healthier than in his youth, and he will return to the days of his youthful vigor. He will pray to God, and God will delight in him. That person will see his face with a shout of joy, and God will restore his righteousness to him. He will look at men and say, I have sinned and perverted what is right, which is including me. Right? Yet I did not get what I deserved, and it's including me. Okay? 28. He redeemed my soul from going down to the pit, and I will continue to see the light. Okay? So only God can judge a man. Only God can save a man from the pit. He redeemed my soul from going down to the pit, and I will continue to see light. God certainly does all these things 2 or 3 times to a person in order to turn him back from the pit, so he may shine with the light of his life. Is that not a beautiful verse? God would take time out of his time to save you 2 to 3 times from going down to the hell. And draw you back to the light of life. Okay? Pay attention. Listen to me. Be quiet and I will speak. But if you have something to say, answer me. Speak. I would like for you to justify what I'm saying to be incorrect. If not, then listen to me, be quiet, and I will teach you wisdom. Okay, chapter 34. Verse 4. Let us judge for ourselves what is right. Let us decide together what is good. Do you understand the difference? So figuring out what is right on your own, but when you come together as one unit, you need to figure out what is good compared to which means righteousness. Okay? Verse 8, he keeps company with evildoers and walks with the wicked men. For he has said, a man gains nothing when he becomes God's friend. Therefore, listen to me, you men of understanding. It is impossible for God to do wrong and for the Almighty to act unjustly. Okay? So God has to work both sides of the fence. Okay? He has to help his characters that have fallen into the wicked path, into darkness, out of the wickedness. Okay? Verse 11, for he repays a person according to his deeds, and he gives him what his conduct deserves. Indeed, it is true that God does not act wickedly, and the Almighty does not pervert justice. So, God will always do what is true, what is truthful. And he will not act wickedly because it wouldn't be wicked if he put somebody to death that deserved it. Correct? If you were deserving of death, that's not acting wickedly. That's justice. Okay? And he does not pervert justice. Who gave him authority over the earth? Who put him in charge of the entire world? If he puts his mind to it and withdrew the spirit and breath he gave, every living thing would perish together and mankind would return to the dust. Does everybody understand that? That everything that's alive, every living thing that's on this earth, is because the Spirit of God is living and dwelling in it, is what the Bible states. And that if God was to take that breath of life, that spirit, back from everything that was living, and every living thing, including man, would all return to dust. If you have understanding, hear this. Listen to what I have to say. Could one who hates justice govern the world? So one that governs the world must love justice. Okay? Will you condemn the mighty one, the righteous one? Will you condemn God? Who says to a king, worthless man, and to nobles, wicked men? Who says that to the king? That the king is worthless. He's a worthless man. He's worth nothing. Who says that to the nobles? That they were wicked men. God is not partial to princes and does not favor the rich over the poor. So there is no favor because you're rich and I'm poor. Okay? So God is not going to favor you any more than he does me. For they are all the works of his hands. They die suddenly in the middle of the night. People shudder, then pass away. Even the mighty are removed without effort. The mighty angels. He's talking about angels when he says mighty. He was talking about they die suddenly in the middle of the night. People shudder, scared to death because another person has passed away. For his eyes watch over a man's ways, and he observes all his steps. There is no darkness, no deep darkness where evildoers can hide. Okay? So no darkness. There is no darkness. Not even the fallen angels can hide from God. 23. God does not need to examine a person further. That one should approach him in court. He shatters the mighty without an investigation and sets others in their place. He doesn't need to investigate you. He's already recorded you through your eyes, your video, your visual, and your audio. You're already on tape. You're already under investigation. Therefore, he recognizes their deeds and overthrows them by night, and they are crushed. In full view of the public, he strikes them from their wickedness, because they've turned aside from following him and did not understand any of his ways. They didn't even try to understand knowledge, wisdom. They seek their own desires, their own ways of the wicked, which was following the world to damnation. But caused the poor to cry out to him, and he heard the outcry of the needy. So he's always listening to the poor. Because usually the rich decide to make the poor cry. But when God is silent, who can declare him guilty? When he hides his face, who can see him? Yet he watches over both individuals and nations, so that godless men should not rule or ensnare the people. Very important, very important. Because this is what we're seeing now, and we're getting ready to see a flip get ready to happen. Okay, it's going to flip right into the light. So all this demon time is where this verse came into play. I like this verse because get ready to smack these demons out the park. So that godless men, which are demon men, should not rule or ensnare the people. Suppose someone says to God, I have endured my punishment. I would no longer act wickedly. Teach me what I cannot see. If I have done wrong, I won't do it again. That's very important too. Teach me what I cannot see. So what is it that I'm doing wrong that I cannot see? Because it's hard to see your own image through your own eyes. So sometimes you need God's help in order to steer you back on the right path and to teach you what you're doing wrong, so that you won't do it again. Should God repay you on your terms when you have rejected his? Ooh, you must choose not I, but you must never choose yourself. So declare what you know. Never choose yourself. Always choose others over yourself. Reasonable men will say to me, as long as the wise men who can hear me, Job speaks without knowledge. His words are without insight. If only Job were tested to the limit, because his answers are like those of wicked men. For he adds rebellion to his sin. He scornfully claps in our presence while multiplying his words against God. And it just went on to state that basically that they were claiming that Job was basically rebelling against what sin he was committing, and that he was basically clapping in the presence of God by multiplying his words against God. And that's pretty much what I have for you in this video. And we're going to kind of wrap it up there. And we'll continue later with some more information. But for now, we are finished.